Hello, very good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss various examples uh, where we have to use the medication. So, and whenever you use, uh, we give medications to patients. In the case note, we do have confusions which vocabulary we have to use. And today we are going to discuss three such vocabulary, and one is prescribed, another one is commenced, and third one is recommenced. So first of all, we are going to discuss prescribed. So that's in part one. So we are going to discuss prescribed. What do you mean by prescribed? So prescribed is something which is a form of prescription. So the doctor prescribe medications on his prescription chart. So he was prescribed with augmenting. So this is passive voice. So one thing we have to remember, these two words when we use in passive, when we use the sentence in passive, these two words will come together. Prescribed is the first word and the second word is with, prescribed with. It cannot be separated when it is used in passive. So if we want to say that we gave medication to another person, he was prescribed with Augmentin 2 gram. Now, let's go with the meaning of prescribed with. It means the doctor, as per the doctor's prescription, the patient has to take these medications, and he is taking the medication, and that's what we call prescribed with. Now, what is the difference between prescribed with and commenced with? So prescribed with, normally we use prescribed with short-term medications. We start the medication and it will be over in 3 days, 5 days, or within a week. That's it. But when we commence on medications, it will be a long-term medications normally. So when we start medications for hypertension, hypothyroidism, diabetes, obesity, it will be normally long-term medications. So long-term medications, when we use long-term medications, and once we start the medications, it should go on, it should go on regularly. So we commenced that. The doctor commenced metoprolol. Once in 2003, he commenced. Still it is going on. But when we use prescribed with, it is a short-term medication. Normally, I'm not telling it is. So normally we use prescribed with short-term medications. When after a short time, the tenure will be over, the regimen will be over. But when we use commenced with, it will be going on. Yes. Now we do have the third usage there. The third usage here is recommenced. So what do you mean by recommenced? So the word which follows commenced and recommenced is on. Please note, this on should be there after commenced and after recommenced. It cannot stand alone. When it is used in passive voice, again I'm telling, when it is used in passive voice, commenced on, recommenced on, prescribed with. We are not using in active voice. When it is used in active voice, the form will be different. The doctor prescribed Augmentin. We don't need with there. The doctor comments metoprolol. We don't need on there. But when we use in passive voice, we need with prescribed, we need on with commenced. And this is the rule. Repeat. When we use in active voice, the doctor prescribe Augmentin 2 gram. So we don't usually use passive voice there in the letter. We use we normally don't use active voice in the letter. We use passive voice usually. When we use passive voice, he was prescribed with Augmentin 2 gram. The doctor prescribed Augmentin 2 gram. He was prescribed. Who is he? The patient was prescribed with Augmentin. He was commenced on metoprolol. The patient was commenced on metoprolol. Doctor commenced metoprolol on the patient. Okay, so there is a difference between active voice and passive voice. What we have written in these three sentences, all these three sentences are written in passive voice. So this is passive voice. So with follows prescribed, on follows commenced, on follows recommenced. So what we are when we are using recommenced, when we use recommenced, we stop a regular medication for some time and we start it again. That's what. If we have warfarin as a regular medication for a patient, and for example, he is going for a surgery, and for a surgical procedure, the doctor has stopped warfarin for some time, and he started it again once his condition is better after post-operative period. Then we use the word recommenced. So this is what the difference is. I hope the first three sentences are clear. Prescribe with, commenced on, recommenced on. Okay, so all these three sentences are passive voice. So prescribed with will be there, commenced on will be there, recommenced on will be there. So prescribe, usually we use with shorter medications when it is not continuing for a longer time. Commence when it is, when we just started and should go on. Recommence, we stop and start it again, a regular medication. Now let's go ahead with the fourth sentence. His medications include Augmentin 2 gram, metoprolol, warfarin, whatever it is. So this is a list. The fourth sentence is a list. His medications include Augmentin, include this thing, include this thing, include this thing. So that's it. His medication chart is following. Okay, so similarly, I have the sixth sentence here. Yeah, his drug therapy include his medication, his drug therapy, both are the same. His drug therapy include Augmentin 2 gram, warfarin, metoprolol. It goes on. Now let's go ahead with the fifth sentence. Augmentin 2 gram was added to his medication regimen. So if a medication is added to the medication, so there should be an existing medication regimen. So the doctor must have prescribed the client with a medication regimen which has to be going on. Suppose he is taking paracetamol and some vitamin tablets or something else. Now he has infection, so Augmentin 2 gram was added to his existing medication regimen. So something is added to the existing medication, so we can say Augmentin 2 gram was added to his medication regimen. Now the last sentence, which many of my students ask me how to write this, how to frame the sentence. Okay, the sentence is just, we are changing one medication to another. we need to say it in sentence. So how it should be. So we need to say augmentin 2 gram was changed to benzyl penicillin 1.8 gram. Augmentin changed to penicillin. So this is what the basic idea is. But we need to include something else there. And this is a problem, and it should be there in one sentence. How to do that? We use punctuations there. The punctuation here, one is here, another one is here. So we separate augmentin with was changed to benzyl penicillin. In between, we add something, the description, what we want to say, on which he started his antibiotic therapy, augmentin 2 gram, on which he started his antibiotic therapy. Augmentin was his preliminary medication, his primary medication. He started antibiotic therapy with an augmentin. Right now, it is changed to benzyl penicillin 1.8 gram. That's it. So this is what the explanation is. So I just want to focus on the first three sentences because we normally have confusions with these three usages. Be thorough with that and make no mistakes, because almost all case note has medications. So please be thorough with this usage. Thank you.